Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? And welcome to the Money Hour with Lakshmi. So, I am Priya Agrawal, and we have Chanchal Saxena. And we are your money coaches at Lakshmi. And today we are here to talk about a very interesting topic that is setting financial goals for your new year, that is 2022. Okay, but before we start with the session, we'd like to know like how many of you have joined us. Let us know in the comment section below. And how's the COVID situation been? How's everything at your place? Let us know.
We hope you all are safe and your family is also doing good. And let us know how the weather is for you all. I mean, I feel cold in Mumbai's weather. So, is there any Mumbaiker here who feels that Mumbai is hitting different for all of you? Or is it just me wearing socks in this temperature also?
I think Chanchal is just you.
All the people living in places where the temperature is below 15 are like,
Yeah.
yes, Chanchal, sure, it's definitely cold in Mumbai. Oh, we have Amrita saying Thandi. Amrita, let us know from where you have connected so we know where this Thandi is coming from. Rebecca, cheers to you.
You
Such a
should come
Bombay
to
girl. I'm sorry, Tashi, but yeah, I am exactly that Bombay girl who's, who says it's very cold as soon as the temperature drops below like 20 degrees. Yes, that is exactly me.
yeah, but you should come to MP. I think Tashi will agree that it's super, super cold out here.
The reason I am not visiting North at this time, now you know. Why is
Agree.
that? And soon we're gonna need AC, but I am inside blanket. Benita, please just take care. Oh, we have votes for MP.
Yeah.
Oh, Amrita is from Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. So Amrita, even you agree. Maharashtra is facing some. I think the temperature has dropped really good for Maharashtra here. But I think, Priya, I think if we start talking about temperature, we're just gonna keep talking because we have like a really enthusiastic crowd with us. So why
Yeah.
not just start with today's session?
So I'll start with the session. So hi everyone, welcome, good evening. And so for today, as we say that New Year calls for new goals. So it's very important for you to set your personal finance goal as well. So we usually set fitness goals and wellness goals and everything, but it's very important to set the financial goals also. So we are here today to discuss everything. And as Lakshmi, our aim is to build financially fearless women. We are here to help you in forming the money habits and the financial resolutions that you can make this new year. So, and as we talk about money management, what's the first thing that comes to our mind is savings and investing. How we can do it and how it can help us grow. So, firstly, I'd like to understand Chanchal, like from you, like why savings and investing is important in our everyday life.
Definitely, I'll definitely answer that. But coming to what you said, like setting financial resolutions, right? And the whole topic why we are here, I want all of you who's watching us to let us know what are your money resolutions. And then we see towards the end what are the resolutions that we suggest you should have. And then let's see how close we are on setting our financial resolutions together. So please start shooting away your resolutions, and I think it'll be fun that we keep reading the resolutions time and again as we receive it. Talking about coming back to your question, Priya. Why savings, why investing, right? So I think it's important for us to understand that savings is important not just to meet our financial goals but to also meet the expenses that we incur on our daily lives. Now these can be either our utilities like paying off bills, paying off your children's tuition fee, or paying off your own expenses, personal expenses. But there are also some expenses like luxuries that you want to the expenses you want to incur to maintain a healthy lifestyle, to maintain a lifestyle that you wish to carry with yourself, and something you want to give to your children as well. So this is the reason why we save in the first place. Now saving is itself a very powerful tool because it is 100% in your control. When I say that, I mean that if today you're earning rupees 50,000, you can choose how much amount you save. You can choose to save 20,000 rupees, you can choose to save 10,000 rupees, you can choose to save the entire 50,000. You are in control of your savings, and it is very predictable. Like, you know that you will be saving 2,000, so you know you can save 2,000. It's very predictable that this is the amount you want to meet, this is the target of savings you are planning to achieve. Now, if you are a person like me, you will understand that it's important for us to save in the beginning of the month, because if we keep that money with us and plan that okay, towards the end of the month we'll save it, कुछ हाथ नहीं आता, सब सब का सब ऐसे बहता चला जाता है हाथों से. So it's important that we understand our saving patterns also, because we know what kind of expenses we want to incur throughout the month. And sometimes you don't know, because you can turn out to be an impulsive, you turn out to buy things impulsively. So okay, let's not have some personal attacks going on. I think I'm just personally criticizing myself here now. Anyway, coming back to the topic, saving is also very powerful, because it is something that can be done without having good or very in-depth knowledge about finance. People think that to work in the field of finance, or to even manage their personal finances, you need to have some kind of an expert knowledge, or some kind of technical understanding. But that is not true in case of savings. You can be a person who does not understand money at all and still end up saving something for yourself. But this should not restrict us, because time and again you need to keep upskilling, you need to upgrade your finance journey. And that is why it is important that once you have attained a certain understanding of savings, you start investing it as well. Now, we would ask, like, why invest, right, when savings is doing enough for us? Well, the answer is inflation. The one word that is going to stay, even if even if you earn even if you earn any amount of money, the word inflation is going to sustain in the economy. Now, to understand inflation in a very very easy language, let me give you an example. I keep using this example time and again, because I think it's the most relatable example. When I was young, a packet of Maggie used to come for 2 rupees, and today the same packet of Maggie comes for like around 14 or 12 to 14 rupees. Now, what is this? This is nothing but the increase in price of a good, while the purchasing power of money remains the same. That means that something that you could buy back in those days, you cannot buy that same thing in that same amount anymore, because the price has increased of that good. So, if you're someone who's from that generation who has bought Maggie for 2 rupees, do let us know. Let's start the whole legacy again, where we discuss and we form our squad again. But this is one of the reasons, and because inflation is going to keep occurring, and it does happen every year. The Ministry of Finance, they do announce a percentage of increase of inflation every year. We need to understand that we need to save our money, so that even that grows with time. Now, a lot of us think that it's okay to save in the savings account, or to use the traditional method of investing, that is FD. I agree with you, and I do agree that savings account is a form of investment partially. But the reason I don't recommend it fully, or I would say you should not just depend on savings account or your fixed deposits, is because they do not give you the type of returns that are important to beat inflation. In today's time, at present, the inflation is somewhere above 7%, whereas the interest that you earn on your savings account or your FD is around 3 to 5 or 3 to 6%. So, understand it this way: you are incurring expenses worth rupees 700, but the thing that you're earning is just rupees 300 or 400 or 500 max, or max 600. Now, even if you're earning something like 600 rupees, you're still not able to beat the expenses, because your entire money is going to those expenses. And what will happen here? You are gonna left with nothing. You might be able to meet your expenses, but then you won't have anything for your personal development, for your luxuries, to maintain your lifestyle. So that is the reason, savings account, fixed deposits, they are good as a part of your asset allocation strategy, but having them as the core of your investment strategy is not the best idea. Now, with this, I think I have made you understand how savings and investing is important, and with time, you should keep on going back to these concepts. We need to understand what happens when this is not done. So, Priya, why don't you tell our users that what happens when you don't really save or you don't really invest your money?
All right. That's actually a great question. And thank you, Chanchal, for explaining actually like why savings and investing is important. So, taking a point from that only, I would like to say that, what if like I ask you a question to all the viewers, what if you don't plan for your financial goals? And what if like, do you feel sometimes like, are you not saving enough for your goals? Like supposedly there may be a goal that you need to achieve it after like 10 years, that you need to accumulate a corpus to buy your own house or to invest for your child's education. You need money after 10 or 15 years. So do you think like, are you saving enough for, even it can be because for your own goals or for your other goals, like for your personal goals as well as for the family goals? So do you get that feeling? So I'd like to know. I think Benita is saying yes. Okay. So I would like to know for all the viewers. We have quite a lot of people out here. So would like to know answers from all of them. And to like make it a point, I would say that it's very very important. So if you even start saving a small amount of money from this time period to the time that you need your money, you'll not even feel the burden. So I'll give you an example. So we did the 66K challenge on the Being Lakshmi community. Okay, so to me it's like, you are na I would say like every little drop of water makes a mighty ocean, that we say. So we, every user on the Being Lakshmi community who followed the challenge, they saved a small amount of money that ranged from 1 rupee to 365 rupees every day. And without even like feeling the burden of like saving so much amount of money, they ended up with like a 66,000 rupees at the end of the year. And that was actually surprising. So these so this is how we can show you the impact. Like small savings can actually create like a big impact on your financials. So even if you start with like daily savings or a weekly or a monthly savings as per your requirements, you will be able to actually fulfill your financial goals. And that is why we say that if you think like, if you start investing right now and if you start investing after 5 years, you'll actually see a major difference in your corpus that you accumulate. And this is where we say that power of compounding plays a very important role. I think in the previous session, we did one entire session on power of compounding and how it impacts your retirement planning. So you can check that. And, through Excel sheets, we explain like how that after this 5 years gap or the 10-year gap, that the delay in investing can cause actually to your financial goals. So this is why we say that start early, enjoy the benefits of compounding. And, you should not feel that, you missed out on something, you missed out on the golden years of your life. So it's very very important, I think. And to that, I would like to also ask a question, like how many of you, like as we say that putting money in a savings account is very easy, it's like we are used to doing it. Or making an FD is also like a traditional method that we've been following for years. We have seen our grandparents, parents do that. So wanted to know from all of you, like how many of you are intimidated by the process of investing, and particularly when we talk about the new age instruments, like we talk about mutual funds or we talk about stocks or any other financial instruments. So are you like stopping yourself? Is something stopping you just because of the process or because of the knowledge? So with that, we'll be able to help you in a better way. So would like to know from all. And I think, okay, Amrita is saying that planning actually helps a lot. Yes, Amrita, and that is why we usually say that it's really really important. And we also list down the 5 must-have financial goals for you. So these are the 5 things that you need to do it. It's very important for every person. And then there are separate personal goals that you can always plan for. And we have question from Harsha, and she is asking, can you tell us about investing in an SIP for a beginner? Okay, so Harsha, to answer your question, firstly, I'd like to tell you, so you don't invest in an SIP. SIP is like a way of investing in a mutual fund. So mutual fund is like, to explain. So there is a fund manager, there's a personal, professional expert that handles the money, who knows the technical aspects and everything about managing the personal finance. So that person collects money from all the people who would like to grow their money. So this is like a fund house which appoints a fund manager that takes money from all the investors, and after they collect the money they invest into various sources. So if you are investing in an equity fund, you are investing in multiple, that fund is being invested into multiple stocks of different companies and other equity related instruments. And if you are investing in, like, for short term, then you select a debt instrument for yourself. So there your money is being invested into debt securities like government securities, then you have bonds and everything. So based on the risk, that fund manager decides. But at your level, what you need to do is you need to select your goals. So for identifying your goals, what you need to do, you need to see, like, when do you need to achieve that goal. That is the time period you will get. Then you need to identify what is the amount that you need to fulfill. So supposedly, if your goal is to achieve, I think after 5 years, you need 10 lakh rupees. So that 5 years is your time period. 10 lakh rupees is your goal amount that you need after 5 years. And then you need to see what is your risk taking ability. With that, you will be able to select the instruments that you want to. So if it's like a low risk, you will select low to medium risk, you will go to a debt fund or a balanced fund. If you are like a high risk taker, you have like a long term horizon, then you can look for equity instruments, because it allows your money to grow at a faster pace. So these are the things that you can, see, and whether you want to save taxes with your investments as well, and whether you're looking for a lock-in period, and what is the frequency. So would you like to invest on a like a monthly basis, which is your SIP, and if you'd like to invest on a lump sum basis. So these are the things that you need to chart out to identify how should you go about investing. And talking about investing, per just, after you have done all this procedure, you need to select, like, you supposedly you have identified the fund also for yourself. And if you think, selecting a fund is also like a critical procedure, because it takes a lot of things into consideration. So we at Lakshmi offer an expert backed mutual fund plans. Okay, so if you download the app and check out the portfolios, so based on the time horizons and your requirements, we have different plans. So to tell you, there are around 2,500 mutual fund schemes available in the market. And if you see that, 2,500 schemes like seems a lot, and it's actually difficult for like a beginner to go through all those schemes and see which one is the best for me. Okay, so we identify the best schemes for our investors, and you can select between those schemes, as in, based on your goals and the things that we have identified earlier. So you select, you just open your account, you just need the basic documents that we have everywhere. You need to be KYC verified, you need to have a bank account, PAN card, and Aadhaar card copy, and it just takes 5 minutes to start investing. So all you need to do is the basic homework that I told you, like, identify everything, and then you can just start investing in like 5 minutes. So I think I took a lot of time, but I hope it answers your question.
No, and absolutely. I think that was a very detailed answer. And if all of you think that there could be someone, a friend of yours or a relative of yours, who can benefit from the information that we are sharing on this live or in our any of our lives, please don't forget to share this video with your friends and your relatives and make them join and learn with you. Because the more we share, we learn together, we grow together, right?
Yeah.
So, Priya, with that, I think we have someone who has said, who has answered your question here, who said that both, as per your question, the fear of investment and technical jargons, the lack of knowledge, is the reason why people don't invest. And Amrita has actually explained and summarized the entire thing for us. She has said, in general, things that stop women from investments: first, knowledge, and then the fear of process, that is sharing bank details, PAN card, etc., and then even language barriers in some case, that is English. So, Amrita, we totally agree with you, and that is the reason why we are here. And we want to tell all of you that this community is an open community where we invite all sorts of questions. You don't have to fear the especially the language barrier with us. If you feel you have a question which you want to ask us in Hindi, you can definitely put it out, and we will give you the answer in the best possible way that you understand and is easier for you to grasp. So that is something that we can take care for you. Knowledge is something that we together are planning to polish for all of you, that we come up with posts and different types of informative informations which will help you learn with us. Again, we invite questions, we invite suggestions, we invite feedback from all of you so that we know what you want to learn. So the more you tell us that these are the topics that we want you guys to cover for us, we'll be able to help you better. Talking about the fear of process or sharing bank details, well, that is something that you have to be cautious about, but you cannot restrict yourself with it because some of the processes do require you to share your details. In fact, with Lakshmi also, when you open an investment account or you get your KYC done with us, our executives do ask for these details and we expect you guys to share it. Definitely it's your responsibility to cross check it with us. If you have any concerns regarding the credibility, you can definitely cross check it with us. If you feel like you want to make the call yourself to our numbers so that you know that number that you have dialed is genuine, please feel free to do that. But please understand that these processes do require, and it is not our executives fault to ask for details. It is the process that is set by by the authorities. The SEBI has set these processes, the mutual fund houses have set some processes, so we do need to adhere to those. So hopefully we are able to help you overcome all these fears and create a very smooth journey for you when it comes to investment. So with that, I think, Priya, we should get back to our topic, which is setting up goals. And now we have come to the part where which is nothing but the main part of this session, which is understanding the money resolutions that you must keep. Now it is something, it is something that is said very often, that it takes up to 21 days for you to set up a habit. It is not a thing to do overnight, and we get that. But we have in fact broken down this timeline into an even longer process, so that you just don't understand what is right for you, but you also have ample of time to recognize what works for you and what does not work for you. So starting up with these habits, we have broken down these habits into yearly habits, quarterly habits, monthly habits, weekly habits, and daily habits. Priya and I will run you guys through it one by one. We will tell you what is the right thing to do as per these timelines that can help you prepare a very sturdy and a reliable investment journey for yourself. Starting with yearly habits, first of all, I think it's important that you sit down with a family member of yours or a friend or even an advisor for that matter, and chart out your plans, chart out your goals, and just help yourself understand what is your final destination, what is this entire investment journey going to reap for you. So it's important you understand that and prepare an investment roadmap for yourself. Second, it is important to identify important dates. Now, throughout the year, there are many dates that you're going to come across. We are not talking about the dates where you dress up in a red dress or a little black dress and head out with your friends. Um, friends, but we are talking about the financial dates, which are nothing but your insurance premium payment dates, your maturity of your fixed deposits or recurring deposits, in fact your vehicle PUC expiration date. So it's important that you identify these dates well in advance throughout the year and mark your calendars so that you don't miss them when you are actually in that month to pay your bill. Then you must plan your taxes. Now, I think we had Benita mention over here, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
that
sure.
it is it is a resolution this year to learn about taxes. So Benita, kudos to you, because I think it's important that you start planning your taxes well in advance. The earlier you plan your taxes, it not only helps you meet your financial goals at the same time, but it also ensures that you have an amount set aside for yourself, and you are capable of paying that, and you do not summon any penalties upon non-payment or falling short of paying that money. So that is one of the reasons you need to plan your taxes well in advance. Then prepare a plan for the year in terms of setting a saving target, setting a debt repayment target, and like I mentioned, creating an investment roadmap. Now, your investment roadmap is going to take care of your investments, but the other two are going to ensure that this is the amount that you plan on saving, so that you are able to support your investment, but at the same time support your other requirements. For example, support your emergency fund, or support your daily or weekly or monthly expenses as they come along. And debt repayment is important, because if you don't repay your debts, you're only going to pay extra money or erode the value of your existing money. So these are the things you need to ensure you're planning well in advance. And the final thing you need to do in a year is compare the past year's performance, track, and then understand what is working for you, and then rejig your goals accordingly. If you don't monitor and just keep on planning and executing, you might not even realize that you're moving nowhere. It's like pushing a car, two people are pushing it from front and two from behind. It is going to be there at the same spot. So always when you drive a bit, check if your fuel is not low, check your tires are healthy, check your engine is working fine. So just like that, check that your investment roadmap that you have created is a smooth ride. It's the same journey that you have planned. You're in line, you haven't deviated from your path. And that is how you can inculcate habits which can be practiced on yearly basis to prepare a overall holistic roadmap for yourself in terms of investments. With that, Priya, over to you. Why don't you take us through the quarterly habits that one should take care of?
Definitely. I think after the yearly habits, what is really important is to look at out like how we are following it up. Are we really? So what happens usually? I have seen like a lot of people, and even for myself, I see that we start with a New Year resolution, and after 10 days or a month, people are like back to their own routine life. So this is why we are emphasizing on the yearly habits, your quarterly, monthly, daily, and weekly habits, so that you are keeping a check on everything that you planned in the beginning of the year, and at the end you should see the difference, like how your personal finances have improved over the period of time. So with that, I'll take you through the quarterly habits. So the first thing that you need to do is check your bank account statements for any errors. So there might be some things, like sometimes that the loan interest rates probably has changed, and it may not be reflecting the same thing in your bank account, so the bank may have not changed it for your account. So supposedly the news must have been announced, and the changes have not been made to your account, considering in terms of when we talk about reducing the interest rates for the loans, bank usually don't do it themselves. We have to be after them to get it done. So sometimes it may happen that there may be some errors. So always make it a habit to check for your bank statements and see what payments have you made and everything. And with that, the next thing comes is check your spending patterns. So usually what we say is do everything online, and as we are seeing that there is an increased digitalization in the country, it's very important, and it has also enabled, it has made tracking everything very easy. So if you make cash purchases and spend in cash, you're not able to keep a track of it. But if you have made those purchases online, you know where your money went. So at the end, so every quarter what you can do is make a spending pattern for yourself, see what how how you have been through this quarter, and make a plan accordingly. And as we say that budgeting is very important and it plays a very important role. So track your spendings, make a plan accordingly for your savings as well, and then invest for your goals. Okay. Next thing comes is, it's very important. So sometimes if we see that, there may be salary changes, there may be times that, you lose a job or you plan to start a family or your goals change. So if you think that, in a quarterly basis, if you think that some goals needs to be updated or your budgets needs to be rejigged, you should do that and make the changes accordingly so that, you can replan, or if you need more additions. So if your goal has been upgraded, so earlier you thought you need 10 lakhs and now you think, that goal would require 15 lakhs or a 12 lakhs. So after that you can upgrade your investments, probably start a small sip again, to fulfill or reach that goal. So these are some things which you can do on a quarterly basis to keep up with the goals that you plan. and now, Chanchal, I'd ask you to, take us through the monthly habits that one should follow.
Definitely. And I think to start with monthly habits and set a tone to what I'm going to talk about, all those who purchased our Lakshmi planners would totally relate to this, what I'm going to highlight as the first point, that you need to set a budget for yourself at the start of every month. Now, you don't need to set it to tell yourself that, hey, listen, this is the only amount you're going to spend in this coming month, okay? We don't do it for that. The reason we set a budget is to forecast where all we're going to spend our money, and accordingly we plan our savings, which will then lead us to make our investments. So setting up a monthly budget is not just to keep yourself in line with your quarterly and yearly goals, but also to help you stay in track for that particular month, sorry, stay on track in that particular month. So that is the first thing. Be ready with a budget at the start of your month. Second, as I mentioned in the yearly habit, that you need to mark your calendars with important dates. Now, this is where this entire thing will come into play, and that is, now you know your dates are all set. Now this is the month where you see you have three bills or three premiums or anything in a combination of those that is going to incur for you. So what you can do is either you set reminders, that is you block your Google Calendar, you set alarm clocks, you set calendar invites, or whatever however you think works best for you, or you get it automated. Now, when I say automated, it basically means giving a standing instruction to your bank or creating an ECS. If it is an SIP for a mutual fund, then you create NASH mandates for that. So, set either automation or setting reminders is very important at the very beginning of the month, so that you don't miss out any of these dates. Because missing out these dates will only lead to you paying extra money, or you paying penalty, or if it's a credit card bill for that matter, then you losing onto your credit score. So that is the second thing you need to practice. And the third thing that you can, it is something that is not necessarily that is need to be done, but is something you should look at, is a charitable giving. So basically every month, if you feel that you can take some part of your income to help and support other people, you can do that. We recently asked on our community that how many of you make donations, and a lot of people responded with it, to which we even suggested that there are some tax benefits that you get as well too. And our community was so kind to reply with the feedback saying that we do not do donations for the purpose of getting tax benefits. We do this out of love, we do this out of sympathy, we do this out of care. So that is one thing that I think I would really like to applaud about our community, and something that I would be so proud to show off that I'm a part of this community. So charitable giving is also something that you can look forward to. But again, guys, if you are someone who's doing charity and is claiming tax benefits, there's no shame to it, there's no harm to it, because it is given for the purpose of rewarding yourself. And there are a lot of people who need these tax benefits because they themselves don't have enough money, or they want to stick to their own kind of practice. So it's completely okay to do that. So we, I think it's important to appreciate the gesture more than looking into the technicalities of it. So that is the end of the monthly habits. Priya, next up, weekly habits.
Sure, definitely. I'll make it very quick. So, in terms of weekly, what you need to do is every week you need to sit down and see whether your budget is in line, your weekly spendings is in line with your monthly budget that you decided for yourself. Okay, it should. So sometimes it may happen that you end up spending a lot, or you may splurge money on some of the things that you want. So it should make it planned as possible, and sometimes it's okay to do that, but keep that extra reserve for yourself if you're planning to. And for all those who are new to budget, the concept of budgeting, I like to explain in like two lines. So we usually say that there's a golden rule of budgeting which says that 50/30/20 rule. It's 50/30/20 rule. So 50% of your income goes towards your utilities, the basic expenses that you have, 30% towards your wants. So this can be the luxuries, or the it's for yourself wherever you want to spend, and 20% should go at least towards your savings and investing. So this was to summarize what the 50/30/20 rule is. So you can allocate your monthly budgets or your weekly budgets based on this, and make planning and savings and investing easier for yourself. Next up we have is, just a second. Yeah. So there are times that we should keep changing on one small. So as we say that small improvements make a lot of difference in, if we see at a larger time span. So what you can do is every week you can analyze something which may be unnecessary, and you can cut down on that cost. So see what change you can make. It can help you either on increasing your savings, optimizing your spendings, or saving just something small extra amount of money for yourself. So you can do that on a weekly basis, and overall it can help you achieve your goals. So Chanchal, over to you on the daily habits.
Great. So about the daily habits, there are two things that you need to do on daily basis. One, learn every day. Don't stop learning. Don't challenge the power of knowledge, because unless you become, you gain knowledge, you make yourself equipped with knowledge. You cannot make the best out of something. You can do something for sure, but you cannot make the best out of it. So learn every day. If you want to learn about investments, download the Lakshmi app. We have a learn section where we have different modules broken down as per the different topics, and start learning with us. Why don't you just start learning with Lakshmi in the first place, right? And if finding a module is something you find it difficult to stick to a module, just scroll across the different questions on our community and you will learn so many new things. Every day, thousands of women come on our platform to ask questions about different instruments, and we are there to answer these questions for them. There are discussions that go around these topics where even we learn everything. We learn so many things new day. So do start learning. Do create a habit to learn every day. And the second important thing is that we understand that you might not you might not incur expenses every day, but it often happens that you go for a stroll and you remember, oh, mujhe bread leni hai, so you pick up a packet of bread. You go and you're like, अरे मेरा shampoo खत्म हो गया, चलो मैं shampoo भी ले आती हूँ. You do that, and when you come back after the end of the month, uh, आपको याद ही नहीं होता है कि आपने किस चीज पे वो पैसे खर्च किए. इवन इफ यू यूज योर बैंक अकाउंट, आपके स्टेटमेंट में लिखा आता है एक्स वाई जी वेंडर या सम बिल डेस्क ही लिखा आ जाता है कभी कभी, एंड आपको याद नहीं आता कि वो किस चीज पे पैसे खर्च हुए हैं आपके. सो आई थिंक in these cases, to ensure that at the end of the month you're aware of your expenses, you're able to track your expenses back. आप अपने expenses डिजिटल वॉलेट्स के थ्रू करिए. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल पेटीएम हो गया, फोन पे हो गया, या आप गूगल पे यूज कर सकते हैं, जिसमें आप एक रिमार्क ऐड कर सकते हैं कि आपने वो expense किस चीज के लिए किया है. For example, if you are spending money on groceries, then you can write groceries. If you are spending money on medical, you can write medical. इससे आपको एक बेनिफिट होता है कि एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर जब आप अपना जब आप अपना एक्सपेंस मॉनिटर करते हैं, आप उसे लास्ट ईयर से कंपेयर करते हैं, आप एक पैटर्न आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि अच्छा मेरा इतना पैसा मेडिकल में खर्च होता है एक साल में, इतना पैसा ग्रोसरीज में खर्च होता है, इतना पैसा ट्यूशन में खर्च होता है, इतना पैसा जिम में खर्च होता है, एंड दिस विल ओनली हेल्प यू टू क्रिएट अ बेटर बजट फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर, so that you know कि okay, this is the amount that I need to I end up spending. So I either optimize my spendings, or I start earning more, or I invest in a place which will help me meet those expenses over time. सो ये दो चीज़ें हैं जो आपको डेली हैबिट अपनी मेंटेन करनी चाहिए, जिससे आप ये इंश्योर करें कि आपके फाइनेंशियल गोल्स सही तरीके से मीट हो जा रहे हैं. So that is up with the challenges. Sorry, that is up with your habits throughout the year.
Definitely. And Amrita, I think you mentioned that there are certain language barriers sometimes that stops women to talk about even money conversation, to have money conversations, or there's a process barrier. So one thing I'd like to say, like if you, if all the viewers out of you, if you think that, we should conduct sessions in Hindi, so let us know in the comment section below. So accordingly, if we have like a good number of audience, we can always plan a session entirely in Hindi, so that, language, I don't think like language should be a barrier. We should, we can always, Lakshmi is all about educating women to take charge of their finances, so we are always there to, make everything simpler. So be it if talking about it in Hindi, that's always, when the women are growing in their personal finance journey, it's like an achievement for us. So let us know in the comment section below if you'd like, all the viewers would like to know, get the sessions in Hindi and everything, so we can plan it accordingly. And apart from that, one thing I'd like to say that, we discuss these habits, and these are habits which, which will make you, would say, help in achieving your financial goals. It's very, very important. And these everyday habits can make a big, like bring a lot of change in your life. So see what you can do, what fits you. It's not like, you have to follow everything that we said, but see what suits your life, what suits your lifestyle and your goals, and then like take a bit on that front. And post that, one very exciting thing that we have for you, so I'd spill the tea for you. So we've been discussing, we've been getting like lots of questions on the 66K challenge, like when is the new challenge starting. So we are not announcing the next challenge, but we are giving you a small hint here. So the next challenge is going to be like a bigger challenge than the 66K that we had. It's going to be a savings challenge, and we are planning something really big for you guys. So stay tuned. It will be announced very soon, and we have a lot of exciting things coming up for all of you. And one thing I'd like to mention here is there are certain things that we are planning apart from this challenge also, so which will require your KYC to be verified. So we'd all like, we'd appreciate if you will get your KYC done. And it's not just for investing, it helps you in making financial transactions anywhere you go. So complete your KYC. And I think if Rebecca, you are online, you can share the details KYC video that we have, and the other details we'll be sharing it with you soon. But stay tuned. In the next 15-20 days, you will be like getting a lot of good news from us.
And one thing, KYC, getting your KYC done is a completely online process. So if any one of you have questions that during these times, how are we supposed to head out? Please don't head out. In fact, we'd suggest stay at home. Be careful. Just get your KYC done. In fact, Lakshmi does it for you guys too. All you have to do is pick up your phone, call Lakshmi call center team, and tell them that you need to check if your KYC verified or not. If you're not, they will handhold you to get it done for you. So it's a completely online process, it's a completely free process. There is no single penny that is charged from you for this process. So we look forward for you to get it done so that you are eligible to participate in our challenge. And we expect good participation, right? Am I right, Priya? We saw people going, like people giving their 1000% in the 66K challenge. So this one needs to be bigger and better. So
Yeah, and I
everyone who's excited, please drop
think
in. the comments, please. That
Yeah,
I'm
and I
looking for.
think you need to invite all your girlfriends also, like all the Lakshmi squad that each one of you have. Invite them and participate in this challenge as a squad together. I think I have seen a lot of people following the 66K challenge in a group. So they used to tag people that, the number is out. I have saved this money, now you should save it too. So this actually, everyone does that saving, but when we do it in a group, and I think we were talking, Rebecca and I were discussing this, that when we do the savings challenge or anything, when we are in a community, we are like, we get that motivation, that I need to do this, I need to follow this, because I have a squad which is also following that, and we are together achieving a particular goal that we have. So I think you should share this live also, if you want your friends or family to know about this, like to give them a brief about what we are planning for them, and you should invite them to the community so that they can participate in this challenge too.
Lovely. So I think with that we come to the part which we talked about, right? Giving out the money resolutions that we feel you should be having, and with that I'll just cover the four money resolutions that you need to have in 2022. Now, ladies, please make sure that these are a part of your resolutions. Even if you've set your resolutions already, make some room for these, because these can never go wrong. These can never let your finances go out of hand for you. First, don't let your emotions drive your spending habits. I'll share an example with you. We see people who cry their eyes out when they have a breakup, and then the next thing they say is, I'm gonna look sexy, I'm gonna head out to a club, and I'm gonna dance the night away and have the fun and enjoy. No, don't let your emotions drive your spending habits. If you know that you have a budget to stick to, if you know what are your spending habits, don't get carried away. Don't let emotions take the best of you. So always take your financial decisions in a very calm from a very calm mind, from a very calm perspective, because at the end it's your hard earned money, and you don't want to end up falling short of money, especially in cases when you really need it. Second, you should not spend more than you earn. We all love credit cards, right? We all love. Rebecca is asking, lol, Chanchal, any experience on this? No, Rebecca, thankfully not until now. Not until now. Hopefully not in the future as well. But definitely something that I have seen, because I am from this age where people are into dating, and we see these things going around, right? So let's just not, I think it's important to learn from your environment and you pick up. And the best thing is to observe and analyze. So that is what we do. We try to pick up all the relatable experiences, so that we can make it more relatable for understanding as well. Anyway, coming back to the second money resolution, spend more than you earn. We love credit cards, and we know that credit card brings so much value to us, because it first of all helps us to pay for things for which we don't have money at one go, and second, it also helps us build our credit score. But what we don't want to do is misuse it or go overboard with it. We need to ensure that we are spending the amount which we are capable of returning, repaying, or at least balancing out with our earnings. Because if you go overboard with that, you're only going to put yourself into a debt trap, and we don't want that happening for you. So second money resolutions, don't spend more than you earn. Third, don't make impulsive purchases to keep up with the trend. Now, this is one personal experience that I'll share with you. Um, I thought that I want to get all fit in this quarantine phase, and I was really excited to buy a fitness band. I did not even realize that there are some parameters to check while buying a fitness band. For example, checking how accurate these bands are, or are these what is the quality of the band, or what is the best company from which you can buy the brand, which you can buy the band. And I just saw that there was this one watch which was like on sale on Amazon, and everyone was buying it apparently, and I just took a decision of buying it, just to realize that it does not even count my steps properly and it gives me a heart rate of below 60. I am not dead. So I just realized that, sometimes we just make we incur these expenses which are not even worth, and we just lose the value of our money like that. So impulsive purchasing is a big no. It's not just to keep up with the trend, but it also happens with a lot of us that we go to the grocery store, we have a list, we need to buy 5 items, we come back with 10, because uh, ग्रीन लेस का पैकेट कभी भी बुरा टेस्ट नहीं कर सकता, एक डेयरी मिल्क आपको कभी भी मोटा नहीं कर सकती. We get these thoughts, and that's how we end up getting all these stuff back with us. So impulsive purchase, a big no. Please don't make the mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes and let's just keep our money sorted in those terms. Last money resolution: copy someone else's financial plan. Guys, we all are the protagonists in our life, we all are the hero and heroines in our personal life. Let's stick to it. Let's not become the background dancer, or the the person who's just walking or crossing the road behind the protagonist. No, we have our own stories to write, we have our own financial goals to meet, and it's important we prepare a plan which supports our goals and it supports our needs, because something which works for someone else might look very attractive to you, but can also happen to not work the best way out for you. Just a small example: if today Priya and I are here on this chat with you, Priya has invested in a long-term mutual fund plan from Lakshmi, and she has invested it with the aim of getting returns after 4 or 5 years. I look at her plan and I'm like, wow, she is earning good, and I need that money too, right? Because why not? Like, even I want to get rich. What I do is I don't even realize what my financial plans are. I just copy Priya's plan and I just invest the same amount in the same plan. Now we know that long-term equity mutual funds are of mutual funds which basically invest in equity stocks, and equities are highly volatile in short-term market. That means the prices go up and down really quick in a shorter term. These prices are do not these movement do not affect in the long term at a higher. The impact is not so high in the longer term basically. So Priya is sorted for the next 5 years. She's like, okay, I've invested, now I'm gonna sleep over my investments, and she is relaxed. But I have invested in the same plan, and I realize that I need to pay for my tuition in the next 1 year. I need to go to my college for higher education in the next 1 year, and I need that money back. Now I have invested in an equity plan which will give me returns in the longer run. In the short term, I felt it was very attractive because that is the kind of return it was giving. But because of the volatility, the prices in the short term have gone lower than what I expected. Now I'm at this point where I need to withdraw this money, but the money has not grown as per my expectations, and what I've ended up with is not the right or the fair value to my investment. Had I been investing the same amount in a debt fund, or in a short term fixed deposit, or even a shorter term instrument, maybe that would have turned out to be a better instrument for me. So it's important that we understand our goals, we understand our plans, and make investments according to that. So, ladies, the four money resolutions for 2022. Please let us know which resolution you are going to swear by. which resolution you think should be a part of your bucket too. And like I mentioned before, do let us know what are the resolutions you are keeping so we can learn and all of us can learn from each other. So yeah, that's all, Priya. Over to you.
Definitely. And I think with the money goals and investing in everything, what comes to is like how we can make this process easier. So all of us may feel that, I have this many, like these are the goals that I may have. But how do I go about it? What is the, step ahead? And we say that, you need to make an investment roadmap for yourself, see how you're going to plan your SIPs or your lump sum investments. So this is where I think Lakshmi can help you. So we have, firstly, I'll talk about the calculators that we have. So these are like the 2-minute calculators that can help you in planning your personal finances and can make it very, very easy for you. So to brief about it, firstly, we have the goal calculator. This is the calculator. So supposedly I told you that you had a goal of 10 lakh rupees and you need to achieve that in 5 years. This was the earlier example that I gave. So with these two inputs and the risk appetite, like the expected returns, you can get to know what is the amount that you need to invest on a monthly basis starting from now till the end of like 5 years, or the lump sum investment. If you have like a surplus amount of money, what is that lump sum investment you can make to achieve that goal? So it just takes like a 2-minute process for you to input the values or your requirements on in that calculator, and you'll just get the answer right away. And also, it will show you a recommend. Is my voice echoing?
No, it's fine.
All right, all right. So it will also show you the recommendations based on the time period and everything that you have selected. So one thing is that. Next is we have a retirement calculator. As we say that, retirement is one of the 5 must-have financial goals that everyone must plan. And it's very, I think it's for when we talk about retirement planning for women, it's very important, as you know, that women outlive men. So you need like a larger corpus to survive the retirement period and actually fulfill your goals. So we discussed earlier that you may have goals to travel or build a beach house for yourself, or do something for the I would say for the people you love, or your grandkids and everything. So we may have different goals. So retirement planning also plays a very, very important role. So this retirement calculator will take the basic inputs that exactly, what is your current monthly expenses, what is the age that you wish to retire, what is the life expectancy, and based on that, considering the inflation, it will show you how much amount of money you will require as a retirement corpus at the age when you wish to retire. It will show you the amount that you need to start investing right now on a monthly basis or as a lump sum amount, and how long, like what will be the inflated value of your monthly. So supposedly you consider your current monthly expenses are 45,000. You may not know that after inflation taking into account, considering at the rate of 8%, if we say, it may be like a very, very high amount, be it like more than I think 2 lakh rupees. So you never know that, if you are saving at the current pace and not considering inflation also, so you may actually be like you may actually like have like a shortfall of money when you are at the retirement phase. So there are multiple things, and you just need to input the values and you will get the answer right away with a graphical method also, which will show you actually how the money is growing and everything. Okay, next, the last calculator that we have is the tax calculator. So, as we have received a lot of questions, and everyone wants to know like how much they need to invest considering the old and the new regime that we have on the Income Tax Act. So, that tax calculator will take all the inputs based on your salary, the HRA that you receive, and your monthly rents, your investments, and everything, and it will show you how much you need to invest to get the tax benefits. So that is something which I think most of us struggle with, like is the taxes. So making tax planning easy is the goal of that Lakshmi tax calculator. So you can check it out. Rebecca, if you can share the link, it would be easy for all the viewers to just download the app and check that out. So with that, Chanchal, I think we are at almost at the end of our session, and we'd like to know like what are the plans that I can invest in.
All right, we'll do that, and I'll quickly take you guys through this because I see a lot of questions on the chat box, and I don't want to miss out on any of it. So we'll quickly just wrap up this piece that we have last, and then we'll take up all the questions. So anyone who has questions, this is the time you start typing in, so that by the end we can start taking all your questions in. Now, talking about the Lakshmi plans, so basically, first a little information about these plans. These are expert-backed plans. Basically, the Anand Rathi research team has skimmed across the various mutual funds that are available. How Priya mentioned, there are more than 2,500 mutual funds available in the market. It gets very difficult for a person who is especially either who does not have the information on selecting the right type of fund, or someone who even though who has the knowledge does not have the time to track the market. For them it gets difficult. So for these people, our Anand Rathi research team has actually skimmed across the various mutual funds, set some parameters, and picked the right instrument for the right type of investment. We have broken down the products into three major categories: investment category as per timeline, investment category as per goal, and investment category as per ticket size. Now, the benefit of these plans are that since they are prepared by the expert team, they're also monitored and they're monitored and they are changed if required in case they're not meeting the right return to risk ratio by the experts themselves. You don't have to whack your brain understanding whether this thing is working for you or not. All you have to do is find the instrument that suits your need, sit back and just see your money grow. Now, in the investment basket, that is as per the term, we have three plans: a long-term fund, a long-term plan, a short-term plan, and an ultra-short-term plan. Long-term plan is basically for more than 3 years. Short-term plan is for up to 3 years, and ultra-short-term plan is for up to a year. So if you have some money idle that you don't really need, you can invest it in our ultra short-term fund and just let it grow even in a span as low as 1 year. Second, the goal based plans that we have are tax saving fund and gold savings fund. Now, tax savings funds are basically the basket which includes your ELSs, the equity linked savings schemes, through which you can save. You can claim deduction under section 80C and save tax. And the second is a gold saving fund, which is nothing but a gold mutual fund. So, Gold Mutual Fund is again a product that we have on our app where you can invest as small as rupee 100. If you ask the benefit, one is the small amount, the denomination. Second, you are holding the gold in an electronic form. That means no risk of loss, no risk of losing the fair value upon selling that instrument. It is easily sellable. You can easily just punch in your order to withdraw the money and you can have it right in your hands. So that is another great benefit of a gold mutual fund. And third, the small ticket size basket. So basically we have two plans. One is a 100 rupee debt fund, and one is one is a 100 rupee equity fund, which is basically individual mutual funds which invest in either debt or equity segment respectively. Here you can start your investment as low as rupee 100. You might ask that why should I invest in a debt fund when I can invest in an equity fund? In fact, we even had a question over here that liquid funds, which are one of the funds under the debt category, they give lower returns as per they have been giving lower returns as per your fixed deposits. Then why should not invest in fixed deposit in the first place? So just to answer that, first of all, fixed deposits invest in only so basically, in fixed deposit, it is that one individual instrument for you. Here you earn money when the bank gives out your money as loan and they generate return on that. That is the only source of income for that instrument to earn, which then gives you that kind of promise return. In case of a debt fund or and in this case a liquid fund, your money is not just invested in an FD, but it is actually invested in more than 30 types of debt instruments, which constitutes of your certificate of deposit, treasury bill, commercial paper, government bonds, and it gives a return combining all of these together. So at times you see that the fund is not performing the best is because of the interest rate changes that are continuously happening in the economy. But that is not a concern, because then you have to also see what is the net return that you're having. In case of an FD, every year when you earn an interest, you have to pay tax on that interest earned. Every time your interest is credited, you will see that a TDS amount is deducted in the first place. So you have to pay a tax on your interest every year. Whereas in case of a debt mutual fund, you pay tax only on the profit you generate after selling your fund. So if you are not selling your fund, you are not incurring any tax over here. And if your debt fund is kept for a certain amount of time, if you sell it beyond that period, you even get a tax rate which is lower. And here what happens is that your net return is then adjusted accordingly. So that is also one thing that you really need to keep in mind. So that is your 100 rupee equity and your 100 rupee debt fund.
Great, great. Thanks, Chanchal, for taking us through all the products that we have. And to just sum it up, just start. So, why a question may arise that, why just 100 rupees? So, to all the women out here who want to start their investing, want to start their investment journey, start with 100 rupees and see how the process is. When you see actually, what is how the money is being invested, where you have invested, and, you're acquainted with the process of it, you can gradually increase the amount that you want to invest as per your goals. But if you start with just rupees 100, it will give you that confidence. We just need to take that first step towards the journey. That first step is always, it feels difficult, but it actually is not. So take that first step and everything is going to be like very easy for you. So, or with that, we like to just sum everything we have. I think we have covered everything. And lastly, one thing that I'd like to say is, as we discussed about equity, gold, and debt instruments, it's very important to do the asset allocation. You can't invest all your money in equity or in debt or in gold. So there is a particular asset allocation that you can follow. So there's a thumb rule for it. So which says that 100 minus your age can be invested into your equity instruments. So your age, the amount, the supposedly, I'll show you one slide that I have for you, which will make it very very easy for yourself. Just a second. Okay, yeah, all right. Can you see my screen, Chanchal?
Yeah, now I can.
All right. Okay. So as I was explaining that, that 100 minus your age can be invested into equity, and, 5 to 10% of your portfolio is usually suggested to have it as gold, because, it acts as a hedge against inflation, and it is like adds protection to your portfolio, I would say. Okay, so if you say that you are 30 years old, and these, if you wish to invest, start investing with rupees 1000, and you need to do an asset allocation for yourself, this is how, this is an example of how you can go about it. So 100 rupee, in, you can start investing in that. 600 can go towards equity. 30 as your age can go towards, so 30% of 1000 can go towards your debt fund, and 5 to 10%, as we say, so 100 rupees can go into your gold. So gold, there are multiple ways, but gold savings fund is something which, you can start investing with just rupees 100. So these are some of the, like, this is one of the example of how, you can allocate your assets as well as manage your money, so that you are at the right place. Be it any of your goals, it's very well asset allocated. In terms of the portfolios also that we offer, so considering the Lakshmi long term portfolio, it's asset allocated based on equity and debt allocation, so that our investors don't need to worry about how should I, what fund should I select for my equity investments or debt investments. It's everything is taken into account. So with that, I think, Chanchal, we have concluded everything. So let's take up the questions that we have.
Definitely. I think I would like to start with Benita's money resolution that she has shared with us, and sorry, Amrita's money resolution that she has shared with us, and that is learning about taxation. Another important aspect of savings, I feel. Definitely, Amrita, and I'm sorry, I think I called out Benita before, but it was actually Amrita who mentioned about taxation. So definitely, Amrita, taxation is important, and like how we mentioned previously, that planning taxes is also a very crucial step of planning your financial journey. So kudos to you, and excited to read any more financial resolutions that are coming ahead. So Priya, next question here we have is, say if one can save 50,000 or 15,000 per month, how to divide and invest? Goal is long term, 8 to 10 years.
All right. Okay. So it's good that you are able to save that 15,000 per month. And that's actually a great amount to start with. And I would like to say that, identify what is your final goal amount that you wish to reach, and see whether this 15,000 will help you reach that goal or not. Like whether you need to add more, or you need to reduce the amount, or you can achieve this goal with 15,000 away, like way earlier than 10 or 8 years. So see if that matches. Secondly, as I told about the asset allocation, 100 minus your age. So the number of your age, that percentage can go towards your debt. The remaining amount, that is 100 minus, supposedly if you are 30 years old, so 70 out of 70%, 5 to 10% can be allocated towards gold. So you can select between all the gold investment options that we have. So it can be your sovereign gold bonds, or your gold mutual funds, gold ETFs, and everything that is available. Apart from that, and don't go for physical gold, that's a big no from us. So and next thing is we have is equity. So out of that, out of 70%, if you keep aside 10% for your gold, rest 60% can be allocated towards your equity instruments. So you have options like equity mutual funds, ETFs, then you have options of direct stocks. So see which option is suitable. And equity mutual funds actually help you in diversifying, because you are not investing in only one stock, but you are investing in multiple stocks. So that actually diversifies your risk and helps you in getting returns. So see which one is suitable, and then you can start investing. So I hope that helps, Vinita.
Definitely. And I think just one point I would like to add to this is what Priya suggested, the whole 100 minus your age. It is definitely a rule of thumb to practice, but it is not a line carved in stone. So if you are someone who is 20 years old, and as per the rule of thumb, you can invest 80% in equity, but you are someone who is a conservative investor and feels that you don't want to get that kind of an exposure through the equity market. You don't necessarily have to do that. Analyze your risk appetite and then make a decision of investment. Like we mentioned, planning your finances is a very personal and a very subjective matter. You don't have to copy or adhere to suggestions that are out there. You can always customize it as per your personal need. So hope that helps you answer hope that answers your question. And if you need more guidance on how to go about investing, do drop in your question in the community, and we definitely write down a proper answer for you to refer to again if you need. So with that, we have another question, which is it okay to invest in equity if for long term, or should wait for market correction?
Okay. So, Benita, that's a very, very interesting question. And I think we did a live also on the community recently, December, I think last week only. So, I would like to mention that, if you are investing for the long term, you should never try to time the market, because there are like a lot of people who are sitting to, when will the market go down, and then they should invest, and the time never comes actually. You never know when will be the market at a peak or at a downturn. So if you would say that, as we say that SIP actually helps you in a disciplined way of investing, and you don't need to time the market. You can actually, when you are investing into a mutual funds on an regular basis, you are investing at every level of the market, like at different time period, and this is how it helps you in averaging out the costs. And it may happen that when the market is down, you may get more units, and when the market is at the uptrend, you may get lesser units, but you don't have that pressure on you, and you don't have to sit the entire day to see what is the right time for me to invest. To start investing is like today. Everything, that is the first step. Take start investing, that's the only thing I would say. And the deciding between equity and debt is your risk appetite. Between you see if you want to invest for the long term, short term, and are you ready to take that risk, because equity involves a lot of volatility. And in the short run, if you are someone who is affected by the short term market movements, that the market is crashing, what do I do with my investments? So you need to decide on yourself, like what is your risk taking ability, and based on that you can select the instruments. But yeah, definitely equity in the long term helps in beating inflation, and for the short term, debt instruments are more suitable. Chanchal, would you like to add anything to it?
No, I think you've covered all the points that are necessary for this answer. Just that if you want to invest in long term and you do not want to completely get the exposure of only equity instruments like stocks, ETFs, or mutual funds, you can also opt for other instruments. For example, gold is a long term instrument. You can opt for these other schemes like a PPF or an NPS, which are they're termed as a retirement planning tool. But then if you want to, if they fall in line with your goals, if they fall in line with your structure, can also be used as a long term investment instrument, as well as a long term wealth creating instrument as well. So just that.
All right. So I take up the next question. I'll ask you. Okay. So we took the liquid funds question. Then we have.
By the way, Monica commented that before joining Lakshmi, I did not have any goal. This community taught me a lot about my financial goals. So, cheers, Monica. We are glad that we are able to help you. And I'm pretty sure that there will be a lot of ladies like you who are learning with us. And we really appreciate this gesture of yours to come and let us know the same. We hope we are able to do the same for a lot of you going forward. And do let us know the topics you need assistance with, if you have any suggestions, if you have any requests, so that we can customize our sessions for you and we are able to help you meet your financial goals.
Definitely. Lakshmi is always there. Okay, so we have one question from Shella, and she's asking: is lump sum investment a one time investment? And where do I get to see how my funds are performing? And can I keep my funds parked even after a particular period of time?
So yes, lump sum investment is a one-time investment. It means that in a particular investment, when you're investing for that one time, it is called as a lump sum investment for that period. That doesn't mean that you cannot invest again, or you cannot increase that amount. You can definitely keep reinvesting if you'd like. Since your question is about funds, that I'm assuming mutual funds only, then yes, definitely, once you invest in a fund, you can always add more money to your mutual fund. There are different ways of doing it. If you have invested through Lakshmi, then guys, keep an eye on an update which is coming on the app, which will allow you to add more money in your existing portfolios. And if you're someone who has invested through an agent, or you've done it directly, then your respective platforms will allow you to do that same. Coming to the next part of the question, where do I get to see how my funds are performing? If you have invested with Lakshmi, then on our app you have a dashboard which tells you the amount that you invested and the current value of your investment. So that is one tool of looking at your investment. Again, if you have invested through a different platform. For example, if invested directly or if you have invested through an agent, you can map your investments value through those platforms, or you can check the website of the AMC. You can put in your folio details and check what is your folio, check how your folio is doing. Third part of the question: can I keep my funds parked even after a particular period of time? Definitely a big yes. In fact, on if you are someone who is investing in a debt fund, and we say that a debt fund should be ideally invested for up to 3 years, right? Even if you wish to keep your debt fund for the next 30 years, you can do so. Nobody is going to force you to withdraw your money. Your money will not be auto credited. There is no maturity period for these investments. So time plays in your favor. The ball is in your court when you choose to decide to withdraw your money.
Great, great. I was just reading Amrita's comment about timing the market, and she's saying her friend always says that market is always right, do not dare to chase it. And market's patented song is, oh, oh, she's saying मेरी मर्जी मैं चाहे ऊपर जाऊँ मैं चाहे नीचे जाऊँ मेरी मर्जी. That's her like market patented song.
That is so true, but that is so true.
Yeah,
I think
actually
there is
very
no song that can relate to it better than this, right?
yeah.
Wow.
Amrita, you are like amazing. All right. Okay. So taking up the next question we have is from Rebecca. She is asking that, we see a lot of questions these days that keeping the SIP date at the end of the month yields more money than the beginning. So is it true? Please explain.
So no, Rebecca, that is not true. There is no such thing as in like what we're talking about, right? There's no timing of a market that this is the time it performs well. What might happen is that since mutual funds invest in, for example, like we said, right, that they invest in various other instruments. For example, if you are investing in an equity fund, your money is invested in stocks. Now, again, as we mentioned, stocks are very much prone to volatility. They keep moving up and down in a very short period. So it might happen that today your money, like today is the first week of the month, and your money is seeing a fall, but towards the end the stocks perform good and your money sees a rise in the price, your funds see a rise in the price. So it is coincidental, I would say, or it is just um, I think it's completely coincidental that it is happening at that time when you're looking at your fund, and it might have happened as a pattern for 2 months or 3 months that you must have seen it. But there is no such theory behind this that this is how markets perform. In fact, again, to this I would repeat Priya's answer that you shouldn't care how the market is performing at what time. Stick to your investment plan, stick to your goals, stick to your strategy, because that is what is going to reap benefits to you, and not trying to time the market. Because we saw how Sensex and Nifty hit top marks these years, right? Imagine someone in back in 1990s sitting and thinking that, okay, should I invest in Sensex now? Will it rise or will it fall? Imagine if someone would have just sat and tried to time the market, they would have incurred such a huge loss, right? And looking at the trend from a holistic view, you see that Sensex, Nifty, basically the equities market, have only seen an upward trend. So this is something that, as per the past trend, we notice that in the long run, equities do work in our favor. It's just that we need to be a little patient and not lose our calm if we see a drop, because equities do tend to fall in the short run.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I'd also like to add here is that, when we have like the investments or your SIPs getting deducted at the beginning of the month, we don't end up spending that amount of money that was allocated towards investing. So a lot of people, it may happen that, the salary got credited to the account, and if the investments are scheduled at the end of the month, so people may end up spending that amount of money that was, for the investing purpose. So it's better that, in the beginning of the first week or any time that you prefer according to your schedule, the salary gets deducted, so that, your allocated money is going towards your financial goals. And it shouldn't happen that, I ended up spending my money. So what do I do now? I have to pay for my SIPs. So that is also one problem that we usually face. So it's better, as we discussed, that no, don't try to time the market, and see in the long run, the returns are averaged out and dates don't actually matter. And what matters is where you are investing your money and what is your goal and the time period that we mentioned earlier. So hope
Right.
that answers.
So we have a question from Sai Deepika, and she's asking, is it good relying on apps like Walnut to track expenses? Though using it since many years, still not sure if it is safe. How to really check if it is okay to use? And by the way, I do use Lakshmi Planner once in a week as I don't get much time to write down on daily basis. Sai Deepika, I would say, first of all, I completely get your point that it's very difficult to write things down. And that is the reason why we had that daily habit, right? That try to use digital wallets or apps which allow you to provide a remark against your payments. But we do agree that if it's done in cash, it is not possible. You have to write it down or you have to note it down somewhere. Talking about the credibility of the app, well, it's kind of difficult for a layperson to understand the credibility. Maybe you can check who's the developer of the app. If it's a renowned brand, you can see the different you know comments that you get, basically the feedback on the app. People do tend to put that, it asks for, you can also check if what kind of permissions your app is asking. I'm kind of proud that I'm able to like decode tech right now. I mean, I feel like such a tech savvy person. But yeah, coming back to your question, Sai Deepika, I think you can check if what kind of permissions your app is asking you for, and if it is asking for your personal data, for your contacts and app permissions and all those stuff, then you can take a call for yourself. What I would suggest is to see if this app is giving you accurate data or not. Because a lot of time, what happens is that some apps tell you that they will analyze your spending habits and give you, but it might happen that because we put out expenses in different names, it might happen that they consider it in a different bracket and the whole allocation of your expenses change. So just make sure that the accuracies remain, and other things, I think it's a call, personally from your end, whether you want to use it or not. So that is something I think I'll leave up to you to decide. Priya, anything you want to add?
No, no, great. That I think you have covered everything here. And Sai Deepika, it's one thing that's very, I would say I'd like to congratulate you that you are, maintaining every expenses that you are making. So you are putting it on the app and you are writing everything down on a weekly basis. So I think that's actually a wonderful step to, actually take step in planning your finances and managing it in a really well manner. So great job on that front.
Wow, we have a lot of questions from Amrita over here. Her first question is that Gold Mutual Fund on Lakshmi has 3 years lock-in period. What if I need to withdraw some amount before completing 3 years? Amrita, I think there's some confusion here. The Gold Mutual Fund does not have any lock-in period on the app. And the fund does not have any lock-in period as such. The 3 year lock-in period comes with the tax saving fund, which we have because it comprises of ELSs, which are equity linked saving schemes, and it is a norm of that scheme that it needs to come with a 3 year lock-in period, and hence why it gives you that tax benefit in the first place. So you must opt for that fund only if you know you don't need that money before 3 years. Otherwise, you will have to pay an exit load a penalty. So save yourself from that. And if you want to get that exposure, you can invest in any other equity fund because ELSS is also nothing but an equity fund. So you can opt for any other fund in that case.
Yeah, and I think there's some confusion because it's recommended for 3+ years. So I'd like to clarify on that front that gold is an instrument which performs well in the long run. So that is why we say, keep your money for 3+ years if you are investing in gold. So like decide what you want, and based on that, select whether you want a gold instrument or you want to go for a debt mutual fund for yourself if you want to invest for a short term. All right. So taking up the next question we have is on Lakshmi. Amrita is asking that excluding ELSS, can we add or withdraw some quantities of money, like quantities of units of mutual funds when we need money?
So yes, you can definitely. Like I mentioned, that the next print or the next update that is coming on our app will allow you to add and withdraw money, and it will allow you not just to add or withdraw in lump sum, but also add and withdraw in SIPs. Just one thing, Amruta, there's no such term as flexi mutual fund, because the whole concept of mutual fund is to allow you that benefit of adding and withdrawing money at any time, again subjected to an open-ended scheme. If it is a closed-ended scheme, then it does not allow you with this benefit of adding and withdrawing money at any given point of time. So yeah, I think if you're talking with respect to Lakshmi, you can add and withdraw at any given point of time you want once our update is there. Until then, if you want to make any changes, you can contact the call center team. You can connect with us over email, that is contact@lashmi.in. You can log into your website and you can add money through there by signing up on the website and accessing your dashboard. From there you have the facility to add or withdraw money right now. So hope that answers.
Great. So I think we are done with the questions, or are we left with any?
No, I think we have a lot more. I think Amrita's next question is, are we planning to introduce silver mutual funds also on Lakshmi? How much will it be beneficial in diversification? So, Amrita, up till now, there are no silver mutual fund. It is silver ETFs that has been introduced in India. Silver mutual funds, I think we still have time for them to be introduced. Will it be introduced on Lakshmi or not? Like we said, we only pick the funds that we think meets a certain, which meet certain parameters to help you make the best out of your investments. So if our teams will feel that these are the right set of instruments for you, we will definitely get them on board. How much will it be beneficial in diversification? Well, it's important to understand that diversification is the tool to earn good returns, but over diversifying will also act as a loss of value. So keeping that in mind, we will definitely keep a structure. However, using it for diversification for your personal need or not will be a call that you will have to take as an individual.
Great. Thanks, Chanchal. And I think we have answered all the questions. I can't see any more on my chat box. Let
I
me know if
think
you
I
can.
can. Wait, you want me to read it for you?
Sure, sure, because I can't see more questions.
So Amrita has said, I love your suggestion. 100 minus age. Of course, risk appetite can vary person to person. My friend always says market is always right. Okay, that you have read out. Sai
Yeah.
Deepika has said, you both surprise me in each sessions with your wonderful suggestions. Thank you, Sai Deepika. That is very sweet of you. We are glad our suggestions add value to your schedules, to your plans, to your financial journey, and this is what you're aiming for. So I think with that, we have now finally ended all the set of questions. I'm just surprised. Look at the time. It's almost
Yeah.
1 hour 32 minutes, and we are still talking. Guys, thank you for keeping up with us and being there with us so that we can interact. It's really lovely to talk with all of you, and we actually forget the time. I mean, we have been working the whole day, and now we're sitting and talking to you guys, and it doesn't feel tiresome. I think that's the beauty of connecting with like our people, right?
Yeah.
So For those who are new to this platform, by the way, Lakshmi is India's first financial platform for women. We have our own community, the Being Lakshmi community, which you can visit by visiting our page. You will see a visit group. Sorry, it's an all women's community, so any men who's watching this, and the app is definitely accessible by all, so you can like, it's obviously meant for women, but if you want to help females in your house to go there and learn, you can definitely check it out. You can start your investments by any name for that matter, and we hope that our session has bring change, a change in your money resolutions, an upgrade to your money resolutions. And we come up with sessions based on your suggestions. And if you have suggestions, do drop them in. Send us your questions on the community, we'll be there to answer you. Preeti ma'am is always there to answer your questions there as well. So please make the most out of your own community, the Being Lakshmi community. And with that, over to you, Priya.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and, actually listening for that 1.5 hours that we were talking. And we'd actually love to know from you, like, what are the topics that you wish to learn from us? Or, we conduct these sessions to make finance very simple and easy for you and answer every small, even if there's like a small question, we'll answer it for you. So do drop your comments, join the community. We'd love to have you there. And actually download the app also, and see, if you are a beginner in the personal finance journey, you'll see, it's very very easy. You just need to learn, and you'll actually start like after a month or so. You'll actually see that you'll be answering other women's questions. So in the community, that's the power of community, that you learn and grow together. So, with that, we'll take a leave, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It was lovely talking to all of you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Please stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself, your family. Save yourself from the cold, definitely.
Yeah, not the
And
Mumbai
we hope
cold,
to
I
see
would
you
say.
next time.
Just
Please,
kidding.
it's cold, okay? Just
All
take
right.
care, everyone. We hope to see you again soon. Good
Okay.
night.
Bye bye. Good night.